This is Rap the News, and it is time to get candid with this. We don't have time. People are getting ready to die in the droves, and I've been saying this for over 10 years now, it seems, maybe 12, but I've been saying the dust, we have been in the dust cloud, but we are in a thicker dust cloud, and now this dust, scientists say, is nuclear. And so basically we are breathing in red iron oxide. That red iron oxide is causing diabetes, inflammation, and then eventually sepsis. According to them, 800 people a week is dying from this, but according to online, way more. So we're gonna get into this. I want you to take this very serious, because this is a game changer. If you could hear, if you cannot hear, keep going on until you be one of the stats.
The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed.
Scientists analyzing data from NASA's Advanced Composition Explorer probe found evidence that more iron-60 has been raining down on us for the past 17 years.
The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed.
Cosmic dust are specks of material about 0.01 millimeters in size. These microscopic bits are made up of carbon, iron, oxygen, silicone, and magnesium. There's so much cosmic dust swirling around that nearly 60 tons of the stuff fall on Earth every single day. 60 tons of the stuff fall on Earth every single day. 60 tons of the stuff fall on Earth every single day.
The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed.
So now we're getting to the main ingredient here, the main point, that the red iron oxide, which you are looking at in the video right now, is causing hemochromatosis, which is an iron overload of your system. This stuff is raining down to you. According to scientists, it is radioactive. It cannot be good on your lungs. We are breathing it, small particle dust in, this fine dust, and it is causing what they call COVID, SARS, and all the rest of these lung diseases. And people are dropping dead of this left and right. And since we're going through this debris tail, people are going to be dropping dead in the droves. We in California right now is having breathing problems. You know, we're the first one to get it because they spotted the planet right off the California coast, and that's where this dust is coming from, this iron planet. That iron planet is going to show up one day, and everybody going to be in doom and gloom. So let's learn about hemochromatosis and sepsis right now.
Sepsis, formerly called blood poisoning, is usually triggered by a local infection, such as pneumonia in the lungs, an infected wound, or infection of the urinary tract. Should bacteria from the local infection spread or secrete toxic substances into the bloodstream, the immune system may sometimes go into overdrive, causing inflammation throughout the entire body. You get sepsis. This interferes with the blood flow, which leads to a drop in blood pressure, making it difficult for the blood to carry oxygen to the body's major organs. This can lead to failure of organs such as the lungs, the kidneys, or the heart. In the worst cases, the patient dies in a matter of hours. The patient dies in a matter of hours. The patient dies in a matter of hours.
So in this video, I'm going to talk about another hidden cause of diabetes that you might not be aware of, that you need to be aware of, and that is excessive amounts of iron. I mean, this is kind of surprising. You would think iron would be very beneficial to the body, but the problem with iron, it's very difficult to eliminate, and a lot of people have too much. And there's even a genetic condition called hemochromatosis, which is an iron overload disease, which the body just cannot eliminate iron, so it keeps building up. And the problem with iron is it's very oxidizing. You can kind of look at it like it rusting out your cells. Well, anytime you have that effect, you're going to have a lot of inflammation. And with the inflammation comes a big spike in insulin resistance. So this condition, hemochromatosis, has a huge link to diabetes as a side effect. not to mention a fatty liver, cirrhosis, because iron apparently accumulates in the pancreas, in the actual cells that make insulin. So the more iron you have, the more destruction you have to the beta cell. Then you have a big problem with insulin itself. So where does this iron come from?
And just last week, a new paper suggested that these radioactive elements may still be raining down on Earth, like a radioactive form of iron called iron-60, called iron-60, called iron-60.
So where does this iron come from?
A radioactive form of iron called iron-60.
So the government know you are breathing in this dust, this radioactive iron oxide dust every single day. And so what that COVID test is to test to see if your body has built up antibodies for this dust that is going deep inside of your lungs, causing hemochromatosis, sepsis, and death.
Some doctors are also sounding the alarm about diabetes. Now, it might seem like diabetes and a lung infection have nothing in common. One is a dysregulation of how the body processes sugars, the other is a viral infection. But doctors keep seeing diabetes-like symptoms in people infected with the virus, both in patients with and without history of diabetes.
So again, the iron oxide that you are breathing in, this red iron oxide, is causing pancreas problems, which is also causing diabetes, hemochromatosis, which is too much iron in your bloodstream, and then sepsis and death.
To meet SIRS criteria, a patient must satisfy 2 or more of the 4 following signs or symptoms. First of all, having a temperature above 38 degrees Celsius, so that's 100.5 degrees Fahrenheit, or having a temperature less than 36 degrees Celsius, which is 96.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, to give you an idea of what's normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius or 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is about what a patient will have if they have a normal temperature. So being very feverish or being very cold and clammy can be a part of SIRS criteria. The next criteria is a heart rate above 90. Now, notice, normally when you think of a rapid heart rate, tachycardia, which is a fast heartbeat, that's said to be above 100. But for SIRS criteria, it only has to be above 90. Next respiratory rate is above 20, or the PaCO2, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the body, is less than 32. So either one of these will satisfy one criteria. So far we have temperature, heart rate, and respiratory rate, rapid breathing, as 3 criteria of SIRS, systemic inflammatory response syndrome. Now really quickly, PaCO2 is normally 40. Less than 32 is because you're breathing rapidly, so you're expelling off carbon dioxide. And of course a normal respiratory rate is around 12 to 15. The final criteria of SIRS is white blood cells, and if you have greater than 12,000 or less than 4,000, then this meets SIRS criteria.
So let's break that down in layman terms, people. If your lungs are hurting, if your heart is beating fast, if your side where your liver is hurting, if your stomach is hurting, if your kidneys start hurting, then chances are you could be going into septic shock. If you go into septic shock, you got to 1 to 3 hours to live. This is that serious. So a person can be hella normal 1 minute and dead the next. Get your stuff together. We are going through the tail of the dragon. The world is not going to tell you nothing. We have to know this stuff on our own, people. The Spirit of God has to inform us. This is Wrap the News.